Welcome everyone to the United Center in Chicago, home of the LCS Championship and our 2022 Worlds Draw Show. Now, for the first time since 2016, Worlds is returning to North America with a four-city showcase of the best NA has to offer. From the brilliance of Mexico City to the concrete jungle of NYC, we are thrilled to be reunited with fans for every single stage of Worlds. Now, once Atlanta gives a warm Southern welcome to our semifinal stage, we will have a year of premier competition culminating in San Francisco, crowning a new global champion in front of an ocean of fans. With our region's representatives locked in, it's almost time to dive into our draw show. But before we do that, here's a reminder on how everything's gonna break down.
The time has come. The greatest esport competition in the world is finally here. It's time for the one and only Worlds. 24 teams will face off in 3 stages: play-ins, groups, and knockouts. Play-ins will feature 12 teams hungry to reach groups. The first-seeded teams from Brazil's CB LOL, Japan's LJL, Oceania's LCO, Latin America's LLA, and Turkey's TCL. The second-seeded teams from Southeast Asia's PCS and Vietnam's VCS. The third-seeded teams from North America's LCS and Europe's LEC. And the fourth-seeded teams from the LEC, China's LPL, and Korea's LCK. They'll be drawn into 2 groups of 6, and each team will play 1 game against every other team in their group. The top team in each group will advance. 3rd and 4th place teams will play a best of 5, with the winners challenging the other group's 2nd seed for the last 2 spots. The group stage will bring 12 new competitors to the arena. The top 3 seeded teams from Korea's LCK and China's LPL. The top 2 seeded teams from Europe's LEC and North America's LCS. And the top seeded teams from Southeast Asia's PCS and Vietnam's VCS, alongside the 4 play-in qualifiers. These teams will be split into 4 groups, with each playing against every other team in their group twice. The top 2 teams in each group will advance to the knockout stage. The remaining 8 teams will compete in a best-of-5 single elimination bracket, progressing through the quarterfinals and semifinals. The last 2 teams standing will play a best-of-5 series in the grand finale, where the winner will be crowned the one and only world champions.
Joining us today are some of NA's legends. First up, the Rock in the top lane and a TSM icon. Everybody welcome Dyrus. Dyrus, you have had so many moments across your lengthy career to create memories on the international stage. When looking back, what moment stands out to you most?
My most favorite moment was in Season 4. TSM was possibly at their worst, not expected to win at all. We made a miracle run, and my favorite moment was everything about it. We got a new coach, we had Lustboy. LMQ came to America as a full Chinese team, and we beat them.
Sounds like a lot of people in this audience also have that memory.
That run was my most favorite because it wasn't just a win for ourselves, but it was also for NA.
Which is why we are so happy to have you on the stage with us today. We do have 2 more legends joining us as well. Next up, the legendary C9 shot caller, who ain't afraid to go pro to pro. It's High. High, you are still heavily involved as the LCS as our pro correspondent. What about you when looking back as a competitor? What stands out in your mind?
I think I have two memories that stand out really well to me. Number one is when we first qualified into the LCS. I put a lot of effort to get into there, and it made it so that me dropping out of college was a good thing. I don't recommend it to everyone out there. Don't drop out of college to play League, but that was one of my best memories. And the second one was, I believe we beat Najin Shield at Worlds, and that's where that famous picture of me hugging Meteos is. That was a really good time for me as well.
I'm sure that picture is printed on someone's wall somewhere.
Yeah.
And finally, the most decorated jungler in NA history. It's xMithy. xMithy, you have brought so many teams across the finish line. What comes to mind, the moment above them all?
I think the most memorable international tournament I had was probably my first MSI run with CLG. Especially a game against RNG. We were pretty behind and we still came back from it. And yeah, even though we went 0-3 against SKT at the finals, I think it was still a pretty fun series.
We are all about stirring up the nostalgia on the stage here today. I'm looking forward to the work you perform here in this draw. Soon enough, we'll be getting to the action specifically. But here is a look at all of the teams that are going to be in the play-in portion of this draw. So from these pools that you see, we will draw 2 teams into each of the groups. Now, it's important to note, in the case that teams are drawn from a group that already contains a representative from the region, or in the event that the draw could cause future invalid draws, they will instead be added to the next group in which they are eligible for. Additionally, the competitive operations team has an update to share regarding this rule. In the scenario where both LEC 3rd and 4th seeded teams advance to the group stage, the 4th seeded team will not be subject to this rule. They will be allowed to be drawn into a group with another EU team. In the scenario where either of the LEC teams is eliminated from the competition during the play-in stage, the rule will remain in place. All clear? All is said and done? I know it's been a while since you have been on this stage to put your hands to work mechanically, but I'm going to ask you to put them hands to work in a very different fashion here today. First up, we have pool number 1. Dyrus, go ahead and draw our first team. The greatest challenge we have seen to date. And who do we? Fnatic from the LEC. Fnatic battled their place into Group 1 here today through a lower bracket gauntlet, mirroring their 2021 journey to Worlds and continuing their storied legacy in Europe. With a star-studded lineup including names like LEC champion Humanoid and dominant bot lane duo Hylissang and Upset, Fnatic are ready to take on the world once more. We've gotten ourselves started here in Group A today with the LEC. Dyrus, are you ready for our second draw?
Oh, again? Okay.
We're top loading it with you. DRX reigning from the LCK coming into Group B today. Now, DRX made their first Worlds appearance in 2 years and did so in dramatic fashion, winning consecutive 5-game wars in the Korean Championship. Now, DRX is led by Captain Deft, who brings his Worlds Deft swag to the international tournament for the 7th time. And this team is more than ready to take on any opponent they find in Group B.
Oh my god.
That was weird. You're stronger than me.
Asking you to exhibit that strength once more. It's a true workout today.
Why is it so hard? I thought this was the most... Oh my
Beyond Gaming coming in for the PCS in Group A. Now, Beyond Gaming completed an undeniable miracle run to clinch their spot here in Group. Finishing 6th place in both spring and summer, they managed to stay alive in the standings and won a 5-game series against domestic titans PSG Talon in the lower brackets. Finals of the PCS were quite a wonder to watch. Now, Wacko and Beyond Gaming are hungry to prove themselves again at Worlds, especially to their opponents here in Group A. I know there's not much mystery around our last name, but still, the formality. RNG from the LPL slotting into Group B. And you know, you can never count out Royal Never Give Up. Despite struggles in summer, RNG punched their tickets to Worlds with the help of top laner Breathe, who slotted in after their 2022 MSI win and worked wonders to refresh this roster. With 3 MSI titles to their name, RNG have known glory before, and they'll hunt for it again, looking to add more global gold in their trophy case, starting in Group B. Our groups are starting to take some shape. You get to rest those hands now. Hi, it's time to put you to work. Go ahead and draw from pool number 2. A fan favorite in Detonation Focus Me here going into Group A. Now, Detonation Focus Me, they explode into Group A as the back-to-back-to-back-to-back LJL champs. And undisputed gods of their region. With a 9-year tenure on this team, ADC Udapon continues to be the cornerstone of this roster. And with longtime fixtures Evie and Steel, they create a solid foundation for former LCK players Harp and Yaharong, and the next era of record-breaking performances for DFM at Worlds. All right, Hi, up for the next one. Saigon Buffalo coming into Group B. Now in 2022, the world eagerly anticipated the return of the VCS, and the Saigon Buffalo more than delivered. After almost taking down 2-time reigning MSI champs RNG, SGB returned back to their region to battle for their spot in this group. Now with surprising picks from Froggy and a coach that bets everything on his players time and time again, this roster is ready to take on the world once more. We are halfway through the group. The fans are definitely looking out for one team in particular. Let's see who you draw. Mad Lions from the LEC moving to Group B. Despite a slow start in spring, Mad Lions roared back to life in summer with the addition of mid laner Niski to claim their spot in this Group B, and their 3rd consecutive Worlds appearance. Beastly performances took them to knockout stage during Worlds last year, and the Lions are looking to go even further in 2022. And as a reminder, this team is going into Group B because Fnatic is already slotted into Group A. Last team. Of the LCS joining Group A. Now this team led by support mastermind Vulcan and world champion Impact, Evil Geniuses ooze talent. Mid lane protege Jojo Pion is unafraid to face every region's so-called GOAT, and with the first ever double major region regular season MVP inspired by his side, Evil Geniuses are a devilish addition to Group A.
Happy Group B now because
Good work, Hi. Appreciate your hands. Time for pool number 3. X-Smithy, you up for the task?
You guys make it look so easy.
First from pool 3, it's Loud going into Group A. Now, in only their second year in League of Legends, CB LOL top seed Loud have fought their way to the international stage for the first time. Led by CB LOL veterans Robo and Tinones and their Rookie of the Year, 80 carry Brance, Loud is hoping to make some noise in NA for Worlds. They face stiff competition in this group, but they know they've got the support of all Brazilian fans. Bazoel for Loud. We're getting close to the end here for our play-ins. Let's find out who our second team is. The Istanbul Wildcats are slotted into Group B. Now, 4 straight seasons of the same starting 5 has brought the Istanbul Wildcats to their second consecutive global event and their first ever appearance on the world stage. Keep an eye out for team leader Holy Phoenix and his aggressive play style as he looks to claw the cats out of groups. This team definitely has a lot of crowd behind them, looking to make a statement in the play-in stage. We still have 2 more teams. Xmithy, let's find out who the next is. We have Chiefs Esports Club going into Group A. Now you want dominance? Look no further than Chiefs Esports Club. The LCO champs only lost 1 game all split. I mean, 1 game! And that was in the summer finals. I mean, mid laner Tally makes his 3rd Worlds appearance in a row, having previously represented Legacy Esports and Peace, and now looks to fly even higher with Chiefs in this group. Now Razor Koalas and Kiwis for Chiefs Esports Club. 1 more to draw before we let you stop down. Oh. We have Isurus going into Group B from LLA. Now, Isurus made their way to Worlds with a regional record, becoming the first LLA team to win 3 league titles. Now, mid laner Seiya may be the most beloved player in the LLA and is leading his team on their first foray into international play. Just thumbs up all around, baby, for the LLA champs Isurus. Welcome to play-ins. As you can see on your screen, all of the play-ins have been decided. The groups are settled. We are going to take a moment to reset and ready ourselves for the group draw.
Well, there you have it. All 12 of our teams drawn into the play-in stage for 2022 Worlds. Initial reactions, my friends.
Good job, NA drawers, putting NA in Group A.
Thank you,
Definitely
Hi.
not scripted. Hi and Dyrus built a group of death in Group B and they made sure not to put us in it.
Yeah, let's walk through why NA fans would be happy with this, given the way that the group stage or the play-in stage actually plays out.
Yeah, so obviously Group B has the 2 4 seeds from LCK and LPL. RNG, who are the current reigning MSI title holders, they did obviously kind of take a little bit of a backseat towards some other teams in the LPL this past split. However, they were the final team to come through the bracket. I thought it was kind of cool to see, like, the MSI team coming back to the world stage. So they have a really formidable squad. I do want to call out their top laner, Breathe, because people might remember Bin from MSI. I think Breathe is really talented. He's been waiting to go to Worlds for a really long time, came up through OMG, was then on WE, BLG, and then now RNG. So they're a really formidable team. So don't let that's why this group is like so ridiculously stacked, it seems. It's just because we're expecting DRX and RNG to perform well.
Saigon struggled more in summer, but they also attended MSI. You also have Mad Lions, who again had the rough best of 5s this year, but are a very good best of 1 team. So Group B is very scary. For Group A, if you're a North American fan, the important part is you don't need to win your group necessarily, but there's the knockout stage afterwards where 3 and 4 from opposite groups or play each other and then play the number 2 from the opposite group. So there are more opportunities to get out alive without having to bump into a DRX or an RNG in a best of 5 series.
Yeah, and this is pretty dangerous. I mean, when we look towards Evil Geniuses and Mad Lions, 2 teams that actually had 4 players each hit all-pro first teams, and of course fizzled out when it came to the actual playoffs itself. More credit, of course, to Evil Genius, who was at the final stages yesterday. But the main thing is that those teams can definitely use this boot camp time to like come back stronger for this stage. Another shout out to Chiefs Esports Club that has been one of the dominant teams in Oceania for a very long time. Historic. You'll remember the names of Swiper, Swiffer, and of course like Spooks and all that, Reindeer as well. Like those are teams, those are players that tried to be on this stage at Worlds multiple times and they got blocked when it came to, at that time there was the IWCQ, but now are here with players like Raze and Tally, who were actually out in North America and came back towards the LCO just to be able to find themselves in this position again.
And there's this long history now of North America versus LCO. They've played each other in so many international competitions now in a row. Fnatic at the same time, they have to be feeling very happy if you're a European fan of Fnatic. This is a group that I would expect them to go #1 in. Not that they won't go completely uncontested and maybe drop a game, but they are heavy favorites, I think, looking at this lineup.
And also just shout out to Deft, who had a monstrous performance. Like DRX did really damn well. It went to a full 5-game series versus Live Sandbox. That was an amazing gauntlet run that happened there. So like there are so many individual stories for these teams in their own regions to get them to this place that now you have to fear them.
Yeah, it was really cool to see Deft re-qualify on DRX. Obviously, my personal heart is crushed.
Yeah.
Because I had to go through KT to get there.
Oh God, the KT fan in
You
you.
signed up
KT
for
series
it.
was
Yeah.
so sad. Oh my God, guys. I still relive it in my mind, you know? Close my eyes, just all of their losses.
One day,
For me?
one day, KT's gonna do it for you, Emily.
A member who used to be on KT is Death. Came up all the way back through the Samsung system. He's been just a legacy AD carry, honestly, in League of Legends as a whole. And it was cool to see them have their bracket run because I actually fully expected, and a lot of the other casters over in the LCK were kind of fully expected Live Sandbox with like Prince, who's this, you know, AD carry that they've been playing around with really, really well. We're kind of expecting them to make it. That's also the team that Summit came from, if anyone remembers that. So yeah, it was a little bit surprising, I think, to see DRX pull through, but it's always great to see Deft back on the world stage.
Yeah, and question to you guys, because there's just so many storylines here, is like, did we end up talking about Beyond Gaming? Because Beyond Gaming as a team is just,
No, wait, no,
okay, perfect, because it's like a new legacy in the PCS region. The fact that people kind of expected PSG Talon to be here for how dominant they've been for so long, but then Beyond Gaming and Flying Oyster is the one that ended up making it here. So I really want to be able to see what Beyond Gaming has to offer in play-ins.
Love that you call it a newcomer. I'll just reference Dead FM because we haven't touched on them just yet.
fair.
Evie making
Evie,
it back.
the
Oh
thumbs
my
up
goodness,
man.
they're always
More thumbs
finding
up to
way
come.
back onto the world stage
Also
to see if they
with
can
the top
surprise
player.
us in play-ins. As you can see, we're all set up here for the second part of our draw show. We're going to dive back down on the stage, hand things over to the Tigers to see how the group draw plays out.
Welcome back to the 2022 Worlds Draw Show. It is time for our teams to be drawn in their entirety, slotted into groups A, B, C, and D, and awaiting their opponents that make it through play-ins. Now, our pool #1 features the top seeds from our major regions in the LPL, LCK, LEC, and LCS. Pool #2 consists of the second-seeded teams from the LPL, LCK, and LEC, as well as the first seed from the PCS. And Pool 3 rounds out the competition with the third seeds from the LPL and the LCK, as well as the second seed from the LCS and the first seed from VCS. I hope that was enough of a break for you all to warm your fingers up once again. Dyrus, you're up. Let's go ahead and get this draw going. Nice, nice. The delicacy. Cloud9, baby. Riding the ship after a rocky spring, the rebuilt roster of Cloud9 has defied expectations to become NA's second Zelda Samson, everything that they have done to claim this spot. Mid laner Jensen steps onto the world stage for a global record 8 straight years in a row, joined by jungler and Cloud9 crown jewel Blabber. Role swap supports Sven, making a deadly bot duo with rookie ADC Berserker, and they are primed to rise to the occasion at Worlds. What a way to kick things off here. Let's go for the second one. We got. Right, we have JDG here going into Group B here from the LPL. What a story that they have had coming into this stage at this point in time, fighting their best for this portion in Worlds. The top-seeded JD Gaming is only the third team to win both spring and summer splits in the region. Led by mid laner Yagao and jungler Kanavi, this team is as aggressive as they get, always looking for picks and always finding them. Little can stand in the way of these juggernauts, except perhaps their rivals in top esports, but before they face off once more, JD Gaming must take down their competition. Let's go for it. Next one. Rogue of the LEC going into Group C. Now the rise of Rogue has been swift and consistent with strong regular season showings and back-to-back Worlds appearances. Despite losing 2 of their stronger players after 2021, Rogue returned with an even more dominant lineup, thanks to the additions of Amalrang and Comp, making Rogue poised to wreak havoc. This means Rogue is in Group C. We have one more team to draw from our first pool. Who's going into Group D? Gen G coming on through into Group D. Now all Gen G knows is success. A roster carefully cultivated, regional superstars claim the LCK title for the first time in the org's history, ending the reign of giants before them. Now, so much experience on Gen G, from former world champion Ruler to Chovy, who is making his 4th straight Worlds appearance. We haven't even talked about Peanut yet. You know, the LCK Finals MVP. GG's to everyone else, and welcome Gen G to Group B. Dyrus, your duties are officially done, but you can remain with us in your position as we continue here with our draw. Kai's got us covered with our second pool here. Are you ready? Let's go. T1 going into Group A. After an undefeated spring season in the LCK, T1 returned in summer and is back on the international scene. This team is built on legends from Faker and Mid, Zeus up top, and coaches Bengi and Sky. The MSI runner-ups are looking to add more hardware to their 2022 mantle, and that road begins in Group A. Group A is starting to take a little bit of shape. Let's find out who's next from our second pool. Top Esports moving to Group C. Now, though they are the LPL second seed, Top Esports was actually the first team to qualify for Worlds from the region. Now, the duo of Knight and Jackie Love are the core of this team, and World 2019 Finals MVP Tien still dominates the Rift. After a year of competition in one of the fiercest regions, a refined Top Esports is ready to take on the world. And as a reminder, they are moved to Group C because they cannot join a group with their existing region. Let's go for the next one. G2 Esports coming into Group B. Now, after missing out on Worlds last year, one of Europe's most storied orgs, G2, is making their return to the global stage. Claps is online and locked in, leading his team to back-to-back LEC finals and finally here in Group B. And joined by legend and longtime teammates Jankos and Caps are all of G2. They're all so eager to remind the world of what EU is made of. One more team to be drawn here from our second pool. Flying Oyster coming into Group D, now joining the PCS only this year. Flying Oyster has already claimed their first title. Top laner Rest has waited 3 years to return to the global stage, with many members from Flying Oyster waiting their fair share of time to return to the limelight. Now, rookie Shun, however, finds himself at Worlds in his debut year. And as his team looks to continue their historic success, please welcome all of Flying Oyster to Group D. That concludes our second pool of teams here for the group stage. One more pool to draw from while we have these legends on the stage. Xmithy, close us out. Bring us our first team. Damwon Kia from the LCK moving to Group B. Now, in a region defined by global dominance, Damwon Kia have made their legacy as LCK's first team to make 4 consecutive Worlds appearances. While Damwon has rotated between top lane monster rookie Birdall and veteran Nuguri, Showmaker is in top form, and every member is eager to redeem themselves on the global stage and reclaim their World Championship title. Another team moved due to regional conflicts. Let's see how much of a prophecy this crowd has with their cheers. Edward Gaming coming going into Group A. The champs are in the building. Edward Gaming returns with the same roster that won Worlds just last year and are looking to go back-to-back in 2022. Legendary support Mako leads a balanced attack that includes teamfight studs Viper and Scout. We'll see if our reigning champs can run it back and claim another Worlds title. Two more teams remaining. Let's find out. GAM Esports for Group C. Now with smooth tower dives and a storied history, GAM Esports is eager to reunite with fans all around the world and represent the continued strength of the VCS. Jungler Levi has something extra to prove as he returns to North America and competes on the same turf as his former Org 100 Thieves. And with the team as in sync and celebrated as GAM Esports behind him, he's sure to find success. They go into Group C. Only one team remaining. I wonder who it is. Hundred Thieves looking to pull off their most ambitious heist yet. 100 Thieves enter Group D as a fierce force to be reckoned with. Brawl of the Jungle Closer has helped lead his team to 3 consecutive finals and back-to-back Worlds appearances. With the strength of one of the greatest LCS top laners of all time in Someday, 100 Thieves are eager to steal their way out of Group D. If you take a look, you can see exactly what the group stage is going to look like once they are joined by the remaining teams. Thank you again to our legends of the LCS for joining us and helping us with this draw show. This does mean that our draw show is officially completed with our groups decided. Our 12 play-in teams will kick things off on September 29th. The top 4 from play-ins having an opportunity to make it through NYC and a chance at semifinals in Atlanta before we crown new global gods on November 5th. Thank you so much for joining us in Chicago for our 2022 Worlds Draw Show. We'll see you in just a few weeks in Mexico City. But until then, good morning, afternoon, evening, and good night.